Talked about how dramatic it must have been, the boiling and seething and the steam, and it must have been amazing. You would picture red hot lava like you would see in Hawaii pouring down the canyon walls and coating them, and then once it reached the river, it would it would immediately create just giant clouds of steam.
The extensive lava flows, erupting from as many as 100 cinder cone volcanoes, had a dramatic effect on the Colorado River running below. Crow believes that on at least 8 occasions, the volcanic eruptions created huge lava dams that blocked the river completely.
Well, behind me here is one of many basalt remnants. They're the remains of lava flows that poured down the canyon, partially filling it. And then subsequently, the Colorado River has removed all but a few little chunks.
The lava dams brought even the powerful Colorado River to a halt. For a while. In time, the dams were no match for the Colorado. The rising pressure of the dammed river behind them eventually became too much, and they shattered. This explosive episode has left its mark on the canyon's walls. Today, the cones appear to be extinct and lifeless, although some geologists believe that the volcanoes might not be finished quite yet.
The last eruption that sent lava pouring into Grand Canyon probably occurred about 100,000 years ago. There is evidence for an eruption on the rim that didn't actually make it into Grand Canyon that's 1,000 years old. So there's I think a good chance that in the future there may be eruptions here as well.
The Grand Canyon's future has yet to be written, but investigators now understand the story of its past. The calcium in the garnet discovered at the base of the canyon reveals the ancient beginnings of this landscape, an immense mountain range. Limestone rocks show that the canyon was only formed 5.5 million years ago. Green clays that can only form in deep water prove that a huge lake, bigger than Lake Michigan, could have been the trigger for this canyon carving. And rock falls from the crumbling cliff faces of the canyon rim are evidence of how the canyon grew to the shape it is today. Geologists have been studying the canyon since the mid-1800s. Yet even after more than a century of investigation, the story is still far from finished.
The landscape is evolving and it's going to be changing through the geological future. And so the story about the geology and the fascinating questions here is not one that's over, and it's going to continue to evolve as scientists continue to do work here.
The dynamic geological phenomenon of the Grand Canyon is a place where the vast fiery forces within the Earth's crust do battle with the inexorable power of water. The result? A natural wonder whose walls record nearly 2 billion years of our planet's turbulent geological history. Earth, a unique planet, restless and dynamic. Continents shift and clash. Volcanoes erupt. Glaciers grow and recede. Titanic forces that are constantly at work, leaving a trail of geological mysteries behind. This episode explores Everest, the highest mountain on planet Earth. In order to unlock its secrets, a daring mission is undertaken to bring back rocks from the summit. This journey of discovery into the formation of Everest will uncover ancient fossils, hidden crystals, epic weather, and immense structures etched into the mountains. all part of the incredible story of how the Earth was made. The Himalayas stretch 1,500 miles across Asia. They're home to 14 of the tallest mountains on the planet. And one rises above all others: Everest. At 5.5 miles tall, Everest is the highest mountain in the world. In order to figure out how this giant mountain was made, geologists need evidence. Rock samples from Everest. It's a dangerous mission, and only a few people are willing to undertake it. Kenton Kool is one of the world's best high-altitude climbers, and he will embark on this geological mission to the summit of Everest. His instructions from geologists are to collect rock samples from 3 places: 1 from the summit and 2 from lower down. These incredibly rare samples will give investigators crucial evidence. Kenton is at Everest Base Camp. Pitched on jagged rocks at 17,500 feet, this camp is over 3 miles above sea level.
Sorting out the last of the items I need to take on a summit push, and I've just been to collect a load of Ziploc bags which I hope to put all the samples in.
Over the next 5 days, he will climb 12,000 feet, the equivalent vertical height of 8 Empire State Buildings. Kenton starts his mission from base camp. He negotiates the Khumbu Icefall, a frozen river with crevasses thousands of feet deep. It's a treacherous ascent, as all this glacial ice is constantly moving, and looming ice towers threaten to collapse. Kenton now has the most dangerous section ahead of him. At 21,000 feet, he is already higher than Mount McKinley. He has a sheer ice climb up the side of Everest. Winds reach speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour, and temperatures drop to -40 degrees. Since leaving base camp, Kenton has climbed for 4 days. At 26,000 feet, he reaches the point which joins Everest and its neighboring mountain, Lhotse.
So here we are, this is the South Col, one of the highest camps in the world, 7,950 meters. So high that nothing can actually live here.
From this camp, Kenton will leave at 3 a.m., climb through the night, and aim to arrive at the summit in the morning.
It's pitch black, that's 3 in the morning.
Timing is crucial, and the weather must be ideal. The window for ascent is narrow. There are only around 12 days of the year when climbers can make it to the summit. Kenton must take this opportunity. He now ventures into what climbers call the death zone. Oxygen is needed to make the climb, as the air is 3 times thinner than at sea level. 1 in 10 people die climbing Everest, and most fatalities occur during this final stage.
One more.
Kenton finally reaches the top of Everest.
8,850 meters. We are the highest people in the world.
This is the view from the highest place on planet Earth. For most climbers, the summit is the ultimate goal. But for Kenton, his mission has only just begun. He heads just below the summit to find an exposed outcrop of rock. Kenton's first sample is a gray limestone. It's soft and easy to break off.